Hey guys, so I decided to make this video because a couple of weeks back, one of my friends and I were discussing our own beliefs, and at some point in the conversation, she brought up the fact that she was atheist, and I said, "Oh, that's cool. I'm also atheist, and I'm agnostic as well." And then she made the comment,
Dude, you can't be both agnostic and atheist.
and she was like, "Atheists don't believe in God, and agnostics are 50-50."
I think at some point I and she and many people are sometimes confused or don't really know the difference between agnosticism and atheism. And certainly, theists or believers definitely don't understand the difference between, agnosticism and atheism. And it sounds weird, but they're not really separate. They do overlap a lot. And I'm going to give you some examples. The precise definition of atheism is basically a lack of belief in a god or gods. Agnosticism is the belief that nothing can be known of the existence of God or gods. Technically, that actually falls under the category of atheism. I mean, theism is basically religion and God and gods and supernatural. So A is without. So atheist is somebody who's simply without religion or without the belief in God or gods. Sort of like somebody who's asexual is somebody who is without sexual attraction or somebody without sex in general. So, somebody who is a gender is somebody without gender. So the A part in that is it just means without, or basically excluding that person from that subject. There's atheism and then there's agnosticism, and in general they pretty much go together, but sometimes they're also separate. So it kind of reminds me of that like Venn diagram type of thing, where you have atheism over here and agnosticism over here, and then there's always overlapping. So some people like me, I fall in both categories. I am atheist and I'm also agnostic. I'm atheist in the sense that I do not believe in God or gods. That's just me. And some agnostics do not actively disbelieve in God, and some actively believe in God, or some fall more into the probability that God could exist or the improbability of God existing. So for me, it's more of, I believe that God is very improbable, that it's more unlikely than likely that any God or gods could exist. That's me personally. So I don't necessarily actively disbelieve in God, but I think it's more unlikely that any god or gods would exist. So by definition, I am atheist, and I'm also agnostic. And there are people who are strictly agnostic and people who are strictly atheist. So there's something called strict agnosticism and strict atheism. So strict agnosticism and strict atheism are very, very different from each other. A strict agnostic person is somebody who claims that they have no knowledge at all of whether or not any god or gods could exist. They are completely, entirely objective. I mean, basically to these people, God, the probability of him existing is basically 50%. They are purely objective on the idea of God, and they believe that they have no knowledge at all and that nobody can have any knowledge of the existence of God. A strict atheist is somebody who actively disbelieves in the existence of God or gods, and they think that there is no way that any god or gods could ever exist. So that is somebody who is a strict atheist. I mean, strict atheists use what's called inductive reasoning. So strict atheists basically, they say, let's imagine that a god or gods could exist, and let's use mathematics, let's use logic, let's use science, let's use reasoning to argue and shoot down the theoretical existence of any god or gods. So these people are like literally actively trying to prove why God could never exist. So that's the type of thing that strict atheists do, and they're very, like I said, they're very different from people like atheists like me, who I don't actively disbelieve. I just think that it's unlikely that a god or gods could exist. I think ultimately agnosticism and atheism are very broad labels, and like any labels, it's always good to just really think about it. Don't try to let other people persuade you or try to change your opinion. at the end of the day, it's like you're the person who can decide. Religion isn't like, other things. Religion isn't like race. It's not like sexuality. It's not like nationality or ethnicity. It's not something that you are chosen, like somebody else chooses for you. It's not like that. It's not like when you're born, a person assigns a gender to you and you have to live your life according to that gender. It's not like that. Religion is something that is purely choice. It's something that you can really weigh the angles. You can decide, at least if you live in a free country, you can decide what religion you want to be in. You can decide what you want to believe, and you have the right to believe it. So in trying to decide whether or not you're a strict atheist or you're a strict agnostic, or if you're an atheistic agnostic or an agnostic atheist, I think before you make any decisions, it's good for you to just sit down and really think about your own beliefs. And sometimes like talking to other people helps. Like somebody else's opinion might open you up to something that you never realized before. So that's the good thing. That's the beauty about belief and all that sort of stuff. It's really up to you. It's a personal thing. And I think one thing that is good is not to try to force other people to become atheistic or to force other people into your own beliefs. I think religion is personal, and beliefs and spirituality, all that stuff is personal. And if you're like me and you choose not to believe that sort of stuff, then that's okay. I have the right to not believe it. Somebody else has the right to believe it, and we shouldn't attack people. So it's always good to just, my point was that it's always good to sit back and really analyze your own beliefs and think about why you believe what you believe, and that's that. And so I guess the overall point is that agnosticism and atheism, while they can be very distinct, while there can be a very definite dichotomy drawn between agnosticism and atheism, sometimes they can overlap, and that's with a lot of things. Sometimes when you think that there's this big divide between one area and another, there's actually a lot of gray area. So especially with agnosticism, there's a lot of gray area. So it's always good to really just sit back and think about what label ultimately you are comfortable with, because some people don't like certain labels. So that's basically what this video is about. I just wanted to sort of compare the two and I wanted to talk about the difference and where those two can sort of overlap each other. And I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to be making some more videos soon. So thanks for watching. Bye.